There we go. How are you? How is everyone today? Sorry, I have a little bit of phlegm today. I think it's just allergies. The pollen count has been very high lately, so um, that's what's happening on this side. Hello, Henry, Deanna, Sean. Thank you so much for the membership, for the renewal. I really appreciate it, and it really helps out a lot. Hello, Charlie. Um, Hello, Michael. Excellent. We've got quite the little crowd going on here. I'm not sure if you guys saw my posts on my social media where I posted that, like, I'm live, but I think you guys can tell from my tone of voice that I'm a little bit on the subdued side today. So but I'm well. I'm doing all right. It's just not every day is super chipper, and that's okay, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at. Um, I guess you could say energy wise. So this week I am also only uh, streaming 3 times because um, I can pick up a little bit more work than I did last week, but I'm not at my 100%. So I'm just deciding not to push myself that hard. Sorry, while I stuff my lapel microphone into my sweater here. Give me a second to deal with that. Okay, very cool. So yeah, um, just kind of feeling a little bit like I just kind of want to chat with you guys and then get my practicing done and feel very accomplished from doing that and pat myself on the back and move on with the rest of my day. So I don't know. You guys probably know what I mean. Those of you guys who are full-time students and um, full-time in the workforce. I think you guys will know that even if you love your job, there are just some days where you're like, all I want to do is do something, feel accomplished, and then go back to unwinding. Some days are just like that, and that is today for me. So I don't actually think I'm going to push myself that hard while I practice. I'm just going to keep an eye on the time without giving myself a timer. I still don't think I'm ready for a timer yet. And but I'll keep an eye on the time so I don't go too overboard. um, you know uh, I will do the things on my checklist, but I'm not going to push myself that hard just because I don't think I can be pushed that hard today. So hello, Jalen. Nettle tea, I have not heard of that before. Okay. um let's see. Charlie, you were practicing in the park the other day. Much better than practice rooms, in your opinion. Do you like to practice out? Do you guys like to practice outside? I would say that personally for me, I really dislike practicing outside. For me, it's an acoustic thing. So if it doesn't bother you, that's great. But for me, it really bothers me because the sound kind of disappears, and I cannot tell what the quality was of what I just played at all. So I find that very distracting. So that's me. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? And my word is not law. My opinion is not law. Um, I'm also very curious to know what you guys experience. But yeah, so, different people, different quirks, right? Um, okay, so um, I think what I'm gonna do, because I can see that it seems like most of us here are pretty subdued today. Would I be correct in saying so? I could kind of feel it in the chat that we're all feeling a little bit subdued. Um, oh, that's so great, Michael. Going back to your high school for their spring concert. That's great. Oh, Deanna, you make a good point that playing outside is easier when it's warmer. That's true. That is very true. I will say that because your instrument is warmer. I will say that I don't want to subject my instrument to the outside elements though. So if I play outside, I tend to play on a backup flute, or you know, I might play on a like now that I have it, I would play on my plastic flute. So Jalen, you just finished finals this week for the first year of your master's. Congratulations for completing the first year of your master's. It's going to come to an end very quickly. You probably only have one more year, I'm guessing. So you're feeling it too. You're feeling the subdued, right? Yeah. And right, Deanna, you're absolutely right. If there's a lot of wind, it just carries your sound away, and you can't tell what you just played. You you know, you're just like, what? Anyway, I got my earplug out today. I did not have my earplug in last time. I'm not sure if you guys noticed. And it was kind of nice to just sort of enjoy my sound. But this time I do want to like get some work done. So I will plug up this ear so I don't hurt myself. But let's just get started. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Let's just get started, get something done. We can all feel accomplished. Y'all can practice vicariously through me. Feel like you get something done, all right? And then we'll just carry on. All right? So, here we go. We're just going to start from the top. Let me switch to this microphone. So I can put this guy over here. Charlie, you shall cook and listen. What are you cooking? Tell us what's the recipe? We're a big fan of food here in this little tiny little online community. Okay. All right. Kitty Cat Rose, hello. You're not feeling well today either, but good news is you received your offer letter for your graduate assistantship. Congratulations, Kitty Cat. Yeah, okay. So I did actually sense it correctly that we're all here kind of out of it together. You know, valid. All right. Y'all feeling kind of out of it right now? Valid. I am too. I think it's just that time of year, you know, things are kind of wrapping up for the spring and we're kind of transitioning into the summer. Hey Sean, how are you? Good morning. You are making steak fried rice. That sounds good, Charlie. That sounds good. Excellent. Yeah, an out of it day. So Kim, hello. Or that is, you're Ryan. Hello. Hi, Ryan. Thank you so much. How kind of you to say. So you've recently got a flute closed hole. It's $7,000. Oh, wow. That's quite the pricey one. That must be a nice flute. I have your dream flute. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It has remained my dream flute. So I can safely say that I am still enjoying it. So when you get your dream flute, I hope you enjoy it for as long as I've been enjoying mine. Oh no, Sean, you're recovering from another round of COVID. Wow, this is a very out of it day for all of us. I am so sorry. What doesn't kill you mutates and tries again. No. Nathan, hello and welcome back. How are you? I hope you're not quite as out of it as the rest of us are, but if you are, we can commiserate. It's okay. I'm so sorry, Sean. Wow, it's a very out of it day for all of us. I'm really glad I came on here just to keep y'all company. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, I'm gonna start practicing. Everyone just relax. We're just going to get something done together, feel accomplished, pat ourselves on the back, and then move on with our day, yeah? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna start practicing. Okay, for how out of it I am, I'm quite pleased that I can go all the way up to the highest harmonic. So, we will take it. We will take it. We will take the flexibility and the support, even though I'm feeling quite out of it. Like, weirdly, I don't feel as like crashed as last week, but just kind of like out of it. Okay, let's move on. We're done with that. Okay, we'll do Moïse de la Sonorité, page 22, number 33. So these are interval exercises, and we are doing the third articulation, which is, I believe, slurring from the changing notes to the bass note. And then after that, we will be playing everything slurred. So this should be fun. I'm going to do this and then catch up with the chat. Okay, just thinking out loud. I think beyond E, I'm not going to try and slide my pinky. my hand is just too small. So, and then the other thing too is as I keep doing these, I tend to roll my lip in like that, and that is not helpful. I have to just relax the lower lip so that it naturally retracts back. And then that way I can get a nice strong sound because the opposite edge of the lip hole is catching a lower, naturally lower air pressure. So I figured that out as I went, and I'm pretty happy with that. But let's catch up with the chat. Oh, Kim, Ryan, that is. Please do not, from here on out, please do not put your age in here. Please do not give out identifying information. That's dangerous. Okay, so please refer to my rules in the info box. Do not give out identifying information. Please do not do that. That's very dangerous. Thank you for deleting that. Yeah, so I know that it's not really a thing these days, but especially for you younger folk out there who are, I would say, in middle school or something, I need you guys to understand that internet safety is absolutely something that can still protect you forever. So it is not just because you are younger, it's just that people who are older tend to be a little bit more aware or have lived through kind of the beginnings of the internet. And so we remember when it was even more of a Wild West than it is now. I would say that in some ways the internet is more of a Wild West than it ever has been, but it's more that a lot of people are more used to how to kind of like, you know, how to hold yourself in an internet space. I'm just saying this for your protection, okay? So for anyone who is new to being part of an internet community and an internet space, do not give out identifying information about yourself. So your age, sex, location, that type of thing, do not give that information out, all right? You have to protect yourself, all right? And it seems like, Ryan, you may not even be using your own account, because your account is clearly under someone else's name, and this can endanger the person to whom this account actually belongs to. So I know that it sounds really scary for me to say that, but you have to remember that I am a stranger to you. You are a stranger to me. Even though we try to be as supportive and loving of a community as possible here in my corner of the internet, you still need to remember internet safety. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to leave. You don't need to leave. But I need you to be safe. That's what we need. All right? You can continue to chat with us and stuff like that, but please, for your safety, all right? Like I am concerned for you, okay? Thank you, Kim. Hey, Saturday, how are you? So you'll notice, for example, I will always refer to people, or I tend to refer to people by their usernames here on in the chat, right? And I do that on purpose because that is your identity here on the internet, and that can help protect your real identity. Okay? So you can absolutely stay. You don't need to leave. You know, just because someone sets their boundaries, it does not mean that you are in trouble and you have to leave. That's not what it means. Someone sets their boundaries to you, all you have to do is respect the boundary. That's all. And you can stay, you know? So, good stuff. Good talk. Okay. We move on. That's how we do things, you know? Set the boundary, explain the boundary, and move on. Okay? That's how you do things. That's how you adult, for future reference. So Jody, you are relaxing and drinking some vanilla tea with milk and sugar. Oh, that sounds so good. Oh, I love it. And I agree with Sean, the less strangers know about you, the better. Exactly. So you guys will notice that I will tend to talk about some personal things in my life. For example, my husband's TSW and how I have to caregive for that. That is done for a very specific reason, and it is specifically to help other people who are in a similar situation or are in a caregiver situation or are in, like, you know, a chronic illness situation, and you guys want to know how you navigate being a musician through all of that, how you navigate making time for yourself, practicing, that type of thing. So there's a very specific reason why I share those types of things. But there are a lot of things you guys don't actually know about me. So good. Excellent, Ryan. I'm glad that you understand. Saturday, how are you doing? How are you? So Deanna, you are back to editing proofs. Oh, nice. I hope you're doing well. I'm guessing you have me on the background. You don't have to respond. All good. I hope you're doing real well. But okay. Let's move on to articulation 4, which is everything slurred. So Saturday, you're resting up, going to a show tomorrow, then Thursday is your birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful birthday week. I've started to do that a few years back. I take the entire week off of my birthday. Y'all don't know actually when my real birthday is, but you guys know that every now and then I take a week off, right? So on one of those weeks, it's my birthday. Because I've started to do this thing where I'm like, I deserve a week off for my birthday. Happy birthday, Saturday. I will say though, just to make it clear, I have been telling people not to put their age in the chat, so you know, I'm going to make it a thing. So if you, I know that as we get older though, especially when we're in our 50s, we don't care. But I have been trying to set a precedent for especially our younger viewers so that they really understand how to keep themselves safe on the internet. But yeah, totally fine for us to know like your birthday, just not the exact age, just in the future. Like it's all good. It's really like I don't want younger folks to accidentally adopt habits that can put them in danger. So yeah. Wonderful. Okay, let's keep practicing. Okay, that one I need to practice a little bit more. So there's a few fingering spots that I want to iron out. And then right at the end, I need to make sure that I like actually relax my lips for those really low notes. Okay. count that as good. It's definitely easy to start smashing your flute into your chin to try and drive low notes out, but it actually goes against your whole like whatchamacallit, like it goes against it's completely it counteracts what you want to do. That's the word. I am so out of it today. So I was just trying to make sure that I stayed really light off of the flute when I was like going back down to those low notes. That definitely helps because it draws your lower lip away from the opposite edge of the lip hole. So yeah. So Jody, haven't played since early April. I had a blood clot in your lungs and breathing hasn't been great. I'm so sorry. I remember you telling us about this. I couldn't even play. Hoping to play in your community band in a few weeks. Okay, so you're trying to get your lungs in shape. Gonna try playing tonight for the first time. If I may suggest, complete free advice. So take it or leave it. But go in short spurts. And not too long, because you don't want to wind yourself right from the beginning. So like essentially what you're doing right now is ramping up. So what I would suggest is let yourself play for about 15 minutes and then evaluate how you feel. Like, do you feel okay? Do you want to go for another 5 minutes and then reevaluate? I would say maximum let yourself practice for about 20 minutes first day. And then you want to kind of keep that up over a few days until your body gets used to it. And then kind of like up it a little bit, like maybe up to half an hour, you know, like the following week or something like that. The nice thing about playing in band is that you're not playing all the time. Like, you know, you have rests and stuff like that. So I do suggest a slow ramp up, kind of similar to what I'm doing this month as well. I'm sort of ramping back up. So so Saturday, you want to try this exercise, go right ahead. It's a great exercise. Fantastic. So Saturday, and you're invited back to community band. Not sure what you're thinking about it. Take your time, man. And I feel like it's also one of those things that you can try it out and then see if you want to fully commit. You can even be really upfront with them and communicate that you're trying to see if you can actually commit. And if they're the type of community band that needs your commitment from the get-go, then maybe try again next season instead. Or if they're okay with you feeling out your commitment, at least they know that you're feeling out your commitment. You know, like there's that communication there. So you can kind of, it works either way, you know, just communicate and see what they expect. And then that way everyone's clear as to what's happening, right? So, yeah. So Jalen, you're feeling like you're doing gymnastics when you do this. Yeah, I understand. I understand. And like that's why I'm constantly talking about like reminding myself to relax and stuff too. Yeah. I love that you guys have been using like a compact mirror and a selfie camera. That's great. Any songbook for Scottish and Irish folk melodies? Charlie is asking. I am so sorry. I really don't know. I'm so sorry. But I do every now and then have like some folks who are familiar with Scottish and Irish folk melodies in the chat. So if you happen to know and you're in the chat, wouldn't mind if you popped in and gave Charlie some recommendations. I'm so sorry that I'm so useless in that arena. But there you go. Exactly as Sean is saying. It's like going to the gym after a long absence. Comes back pretty quickly, but don't overdo it on day one. Exactly. So day one should be your slowest day by far. Yeah. Yeah, Saturday, exactly as Saturday is saying. So you came back, when you came back to playing, you went to 10 to 15 minutes at first, and then after a year, you're up to 45. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's really nice and steady. Yeah, that's great. Welcome back, Michael. Ryan, I do want to say that I do see your questions. So the book that I'm using, info is in the info box below. Please check that first. If you're wondering what I'm doing, it's always in the info box. And then in terms of reaching those high notes on the piccolo, that's a loaded question that is really, there's a lot to it. And I'm so sorry that we'd be going off into crazy left field if we address that right now. But keep watching. You'll hear things of me talking about what I'm dealing with, and you can see if it helps you. So, good. Good, Jody. Okay. You have a whole bunch of us here who agree with the slow and steady wins the race. So we agree and we support you. Fantastic. Okay, so let's do a little bit of circular breathing. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, Sean, thank you for confirming that. Yeah, it's a loaded question. It really is a loaded question. For how I feel today, I'm just taking that. I ideally would like to be able to convince myself to take the breath sooner. But there's a lot to kind of like keep track of in terms of like where I'm pushing from and then inhaling at the same time. So there's a lot to prepare mentally before actually doing it. I think I need some more time of just doing this to get used to it. But it's better than before. I'm able to take deeper breaths via inhaling, and that's allowing me to go a little bit longer to prepare for the next one. So I will call that a win. But you know, it be what it be. Let's do 480 exercises, but I will change this for next time. So we're gonna do, today is, yeah, number 56. Let's see what we're dealing with today. Okay, it's a nice short one. So this is just a full range G major scale, but we're starting from low C. Okay, let's do this. Okay, it got better as I continued in the repetition. So remembering my low belly breaths, lower lip manipulation, and where to resonate the note in my mouth. So I think you guys might have heard that it took until like the third rep, and the fourth rep was the best. So that was me kind of like between every repetition thinking about like, okay, what was I not doing? I'll do it this time. Okay, that worked. What else am I not doing? Okay, let's add that. So definitely a little bit slow today. Like I need a bit of a ramp up to kind of like remember to do everything. Okay, that was a nice short one. I'm just curious what the next one is supposed to be. So this one is 56. Next one is 189. I'm curious. I'm just curious. If it looks long, we're not doing it right now. Because truth be told, again, a little out of it. So, but let's see what 189 is. Wow, I found another typo. The more I do this, actually, the more typos I'm finding, which is hilarious. So there should be a 7 here. 187 is not 7 is not actually written, which is hilarious to me. Okay, I put the 7 in myself, but we're looking at 189. Oh, this one's a bit of a long one. Yeah, we're not doing that today. We're doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow? I think it is tomorrow. Am I doing it tomorrow? Am I practicing tomorrow? Yeah, I'm practicing tomorrow. So we'll do that tomorrow. Okay, let's skip on over to the Ibert. So we are going to do compression exercises as well. So that is just because I think after vacation there's some muscle memory that I need to work back in. So Jalen, when you try to do it, sounds like trapezoid breathing, everything but circular. Oh, are you talking about like the like gymnastics in the mouth? I will say that when I try flutes, I look for what feels the least resistant in the mouth, and the least amount of effort for a note to come out. So if you play and you feel like you're not putting in a lot of effort for that note to just ring, then you know that flute likes it that way. You get too much of a jolt between the sound. So yeah, I do a little bit of experimentation where I because what I notice is that the lip needs to move pretty much like maybe only a millisecond before the note actually hits. So it's actually very close to when the next note happens. You have to do the lower lip manipulation. Changing where it resonates in the mouth can happen sooner. That's what I notice. Like in order to make something sound really smooth, like a leap sound really smooth, if you kind of like pre-change where the note is resonating, so like start it moving much sooner. We're talking like half a second, which is a really long time, like half a second or so before the next note. And especially if it's like really, really far away, the further away it is, the earlier you have to start moving that point of where it's resonating in the mouth, like where you can feel the air spinning. Yeah, the larger the interval, the the earlier you have to start moving. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. So it's actually two different timings, because at first I was also kind of timing my lower lip with changing where the note resonates in the mouth. I was changing those at the same time. But what I discovered is that you can change your lower lip, like positioning, like the manipulation, way faster than you can change where it resonates in the mouth. Like where it resonates in the mouth changes way slower. So you have to start that a lot earlier. And that pretty much takes out that jolt in the sound, for me at least. Granted, this is like totally like me guessing what your situation is, and that this would help you, but at least this could be something that you can play with. This is an idea that you can play around with, I think. But okay, let's do a little bit of the Ibert. We're at Q56 for now. Better than last week. So yeah, I do need the compression exercises. Okay. Gonna do compression exercises for the start of the recap. So we are at Q61. So we're gonna start at Q61, take one large section at a time, do compression exercises, and then play it as written. Interesting. Okay, so it does make it a lot easier. Hey, my guess was correct. So you're trying to connect the two notes only with the inner cavity in the mouth during circular breathing. Completely forgot your lip sync. I know, it happens to me all the time. Yeah, so I am actually focusing on my lips too, weirdly. I did notice that that works, but at the same time, I'm not the most controlled at it either right now. So as you can tell, I'm not the most controlled at it, but at the same time, I've only really been working at it since like a little bit in 2023, and then like I want to say like a month or so in 2023, and then if even that. And then I've only kind of like regularly started working on it from January of this year. And then obviously I took a 3-week break for vacation. So, you know, it's understandable that I'm at where I'm at right now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a lot of it is circular breathing, that is, figuring out how not to pop the clutch, but the analogy is probably lost on most now. Are you talking about manual driving? Because I don't know how to manual drive. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with this. All right, I'm already getting that voice in my head that's telling me if I do it one more time, it's going to be better. So I'm going to leave it. We're going to continue to the next section and do the same thing. Wow, Jalen, that is that's very smart of your dad and teach you to drive stick first to make sure you weren't on your phone. There you go. Just steer with your knee. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible life advice. Okay, let's do this as written. We take that. We take that. That is definitely feeling better than last week. I would say that my breathing, I think you guys can tell I'm a little out of it. So we're gonna let that be. Hello. I'm so sorry. I don't really know how to say your username. Is it Umit? Umit? Skylar, hello. I made it look easy. Oh, thank you. I can assure you that in my head it was not. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. you've been following my channel for weeks and you found the time to join live. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I just want to say, just to keep your internet safety healthy, just check my chat rules. Make sure you don't give out identifying information about yourself. Totally fine to share about, like, you know, like if you have something to celebrate, totally fine to share. Just don't give out very identifying information about yourself, okay? Just want to make sure we keep everyone safe here. Erdem. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. I'll try to remember that. So, Erdem, wonderful. Liberty, hello. Welcome back. How are you doing? How are you doing? So yeah, I just want to welcome everyone. It's just that I understand that these days internet safety is just not really something a lot of people think about. And it personally makes me very uneasy when I see people giving out very identifying information about themselves in my chat, because this is still very public. So just want to make sure you guys keep yourself safe, but we can have fun here and just be a bunch of nerds together. Steak fried rice is complete. Yummy. Delicious. Bon appetit. I hope you enjoy your delicious meal. Okay, we're going to continue. Same thing. Compression exercises first for the next big section. And then we will play as written and we will see how we do. This is so weird. I love it. I am so tempted to do that note an octave higher. That C there, I feel like it should be a high C. I think it should be. But then again, I don't know. And right now I do not have the energy to do it. So, you know, that's a future thing. Okay, let's do it the other way for compression. You just started the flute 4 weeks ago, Erden. That's amazing. Can you tell us what flute you have? We would love to nerd out with you and celebrate with you. What flute do you have? What's the model, the make, the, you know, all the deets? Give us the deets. We'll celebrate and nerd with you. Yeah, new player. Welcome to the family. Okay, we're gonna play this as written now and see how it goes. That felt so good. Right now it only feels that way after doing compression exercises. So, you know, we still have a ways to go, but like, I'm not mad about that. We're all waiting for Erdem to tell us what their flute is. Waiting. I'll continue. We're going to do the same thing, compression exercises for this last big section. And then we are going to do it the other way around, and then we'll play it as written. I might need a swab first, though. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm not mad about that. Also, awesome, a Yamaha 212. That is great. That thing will last you. It's very durable, and also the make of it is really good. I myself started on a 225 SII, so that was the beginner model flute that was around at the time that I was a beginner. So, twinsies! It was fantastic. We hope you enjoy it. It is a great flute. Your dad is right. Your dad is absolutely right. Yeah. My dad basically told me the same thing. My dad is also the reason why he also pushed to get the essentially the more expensive beginner flute. So, great dads think alike. There you go. 212 has a split E. Are you truly? Wait, that would explain what I saw in Singapore. Because I saw beginner model flutes with a split E in Singapore, and I was gobsmacked. I was like, what is this? It was like a C-foot joint flute with a split E. Interesting. Yeah, 222. And your your Pro Flute Saturday is a Yamaha 600 model. Yeah. Yamahas are beautiful. They're great flutes. It's just my mouth is too small to play them, but they're great flutes. You know? Great. Okay, we're going to continue doing this. So the nice thing about compression exercises is that while you're waiting on the longer note, you will notice that your hands will automatically start preparing them for the next two notes, which is exactly what you want to practice. So your fingers always have to be like, your muscle memory always has to be about 2 steps ahead of where you're actually at, so that you don't end up like kind of like tripping on what you're playing. Ooh, you have a Sankyo head joint on your Yamaha Saturday. Ooh, very, very nice, very nice. And Sean, you played a 681H for decades. Now I know that the H stands for B foot joint. Now I know. Served you well, yes, 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 yes. So you're working on G, A flat notes. Your teacher uses Trevor White. It's very good. I completely agree. I completely agree. Are you using the beginner books? Because they're fantastic. I've taught quite a few beginners out of the beginner books, parts 1 and 2. Yes, H Mull, B minor, right? Pauline, hi, how are you? How is life? Okay. Okay, okay. Some things went better, some things not so great. Now so I can feel that like the corners of my mouth are really trying to pull back for those low notes. So I do want to go over that part again. And the other part is similar to what happens in Rapid as Wildfires. I need to make sure that I'm resonating nice and high to get that high D flat out at the end of that big rip. So, and not like hunker down. So let me try that one line of the cadenza. That's as good as it's going to get today. I know what I need to do, so it's probably going to come out better tomorrow. Okay, we're done. So we're done with, that is the Ibert. So we're done with that. Let's move on down to a little bit of happy fun time before we end off for today. And we will have practiced about an hour. So, you know, yes, with a little bit of talking in between, but I am pretty happy with this. So, okay. I think what I'm going to do is just start from the top and see how much I remember. Let's see. After we swab this a little. Okay, wonderful. Here we go. Nope, I skipped. Okay. Okay, I almost got all of that right. Okay, so in this one, I have to do the low bit a second time. Okay. had a little brain fart, but I did remember more than I remembered last time. Okay, we'll keep going. Okay. Hi, Chris. How are you? The flute duter is indeed doing the duting. Okay, here we go. And then this is the part where it changes to B. Okay, all right. Okay. With some fumbles, I think I did actually remember how that goes. Okay. I really like this rendition. I think this was arranged by Shin Yanagi. If you want to look that up, yeah, it's a great arrangement. Yeah. Capano, hello. Oh, also I forgot to. Wow, I'm so terrible. I meant to use this microphone. Let me say that again. Yes, this is off of MuseScore, and this is arranged by Shin Yanagi. KM Oswald, I hope you're doing well. And I forgot to ask you, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well today. Capano, hello and welcome. Okay, you know, not bad, not bad. Still fumbling here and there to remember some parts. This is the most awkward part of memorizing something that is like this repetitive and complex. Is you mix parts together, you start to doubt yourself as you're playing. Um, but it's nice to know that I can fumble through it and remember it. So that's an improvement from last week, because I think last week I was just straight up forgetting parts. So we will count it as a success. I do need to start cleaning up. So I'm just going to, I don't feel like sitting down. So I am just going to switch to this screen and start cleaning up. But that was fun. Even though I'm out of it today, like we're just doing a little kind of self-evaluation after the practice session. So I can definitely, even while out of it, I can last longer than last week. So definitely in terms of my just like my energy levels, it's still better than last week. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like I did a nice workout, but I'm not too like crazy tired. Got some good work done. Getting like I'm regaining my muscle memory for both this piece, Rapid as Wildfires, and the Ibert. So everything is coming back nice and smoothly. I think I'm pretty much back at my like where I previously was prior to going off on vacation. So not bad. I would say that this is my fourth day practicing. This is only the fourth day of actual practicing since coming back. So I am quite pleased with my progress. So I can essentially now pick up where I last left off in terms of, you know, like building skills and stuff like that. Yeah, my left hand felt so much better this today. Really, because last week I was noticing that I was pushing my flute like this, again, like pushing against my flute from the sides. And last week I was mentioning that I wanted to make sure that the weight of the flute is actually kind of like downward, using gravity to lay on my hands. And that is a lot more stable. So feeling good. I am, yeah, so I think that we're right back on track, even though I'm not at my 100% today. Oh, you know, can't really ask for more. Also, I have, in case you guys don't know, I have decided to eat my words from before and just plug this key. I am done fighting my ring finger being way too thin to even keep the hole covered while I, you know, futz around on foot joint keys. I'm done, okay? I'm in my mid-30s. I don't care anymore, okay? I don't care. And I have heard time and time again how other female professional flutists have also just plugged that hole because they also don't care anymore. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to join the club. I don't care. It be what it be. You're about to do the same? Yeah, it took me a long time. It took me a long, long time to finally stop caring. Okay, there are a lot of things that I gave up caring about over the last 10 years. I gave up caring about, like, you know, looking a certain way. I gave up caring about, you know, acting a certain way. I gave up caring about makeup, mostly because I have a very toxic relationship with makeup. Nothing against actual makeup. I actually still sometimes watch makeup tutorials, but personally, I have a very toxic relationship with makeup. So I decided to abstain. And then, like, you know, there's just a lot of things that, like, I decided just don't really care about in the last 10 years. And this, my friends, is another thing I'm adding to the list of things that I just don't care what people think. I'm just plugging that key because you know what? I'm just going to join the club of female professional flutists whose hands are either too slender or too small to keep that closed while futzing around on the foot joint keys. So you know what? We don't care no more. Saturday, you plugged all your holes with fancy sterling silver plugs. I know they're so pretty. I have, if I do this for long enough, I have half a mind to buy one for myself too. They are very pretty. I saw it on someone else's flute before, and I was like, oh my gosh, it just makes it look like a closed hole flute, and it's so fantastic. Is RA a rheumatoid arthritis? Am I thinking the correct terminology there? Powell pluggos. Those are the ones that I just saw the other day. I was looking around, and I saw them the other day, and I'm like, oh, I think those are the ones. Yes. Okay. So I'm correct. Yeah, exactly. It's not worth it, guys. Okay. If you have a physical limitation, like a literal physical limitation, okay, rheumatoid arthritis could be your finger. Do you see how thin that is? Do you see how thin that is? Why have I been fighting this? What? That's just the way it is. Why have I been fighting it? If I want to slide off of that key, I'm just going to unplug it for that one song that I want to do it on. It's not a big deal. Why have I been making it a big deal? There are just some things you don't learn to stop caring about until you're older, and that's fine. It is the way it is. It's just me growing up, you know? Yeah, exactly. Don't torture yourself to play. Enjoy life. Exactly. Just enjoy life. So anyway, your hand just dies when you're practicing with low C for a long time. Exactly. Because it creates a lot of tension when you know that you have to keep it covered and you literally don't have enough finger to keep it closed. Like, why have I been fighting myself? Why have I been fighting myself? And I've only recently heard of like tons of professional female flutists, because the reason why I say female is because females tend to be smaller. Okay, that's the only reason why I'm saying that. But like, I have heard of tons of female professional flutists who just plug that hole because it's just not worth it, man. It's not worth the tension. It's not worth the struggle. It's not worth the like kind of like weird leaky sound that you get when you play down there, and then you have to like overcompensate with your air, and then it ruins your air support, and it ruins your like airflow, and it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I'm also really glad people are talking about this a lot more now too. So, you know, yeah. Over in, Ryan is talking about their Artley flute with the closed hole C-foot joint. So when I was part of the reason why I've really stopped caring now is because I have seen it from my own eyes now. Went to Singapore, and they have out like just like a C-foot version of like B-foot flutes. Like they have a C-foot version and a B-foot version, and they sell both. The B-foot version is literally only more expensive because there's literally an extra key. Like that's literally the only reason why it's more expensive. But like they're treated equally. And I was just like, people really don't care. Why am I caring about this? And like a lot of times I just have no idea that these people have plugged the holes. I have no idea. You can't tell when they're playing. You actually can't tell. So, is the topic diseases in flute? You could say that. I wouldn't call my hand being so small a disease, but I would say that it's a physical limitation. So like if you have a physical limitation, do what you need to do to make it more comfortable for you to play. Like, why not? Hey Jackie, how are you? Yeah, you think you have to stretch your finger too much as well, Pauline? You have to cramp down on the flute to keep the hole closed. Yeah, that was me for the longest time. I have never been so relaxed in my life, guys. I've never been so, like, my right hand has never been so relaxed since plugging that hole. Holy crap. You know how you guys are saying that, like, oh, wow, you know, you're playing the Ibert, like, so, like, you know, like, it's so effortless, and you know why it sounds better? I'm gonna get it. Really, I think has, like, in some parts, I think the right ring finger being plugged contributes to how clean it sounds now, because there are a lot of motions where I had to, like, cover and reach and then cover the ring finger key, and I don't think it always used to seal properly. So there are some parts of it that just were always a tiny bit muffled, like not quite as crystal clear as I can do it now. Hand Spirit, how are you? You okay, by the way? Yeah, exactly. In the 80s, Saturday is saying you weren't considered advanced without open hole, inline, B-foot, and you think that attitude is shifting. It is. And I'm so happy it's shifting. My God. Because you know what? Open hole versus closed hole. Now, some people say they can hear a difference. I'm just going to tell you, if you did a true blind test, you probably can't tell. Inline G versus offset G. Where the tone hole sits rotationally on your flute does not make a difference at all. It is the reason why the closed G sharp system even works. Because if you look at your flute, the G sharp key is directly under another key on the other side of the tube, right? So rotationally, it doesn't actually matter where your tone hole is. It's more like from the distance between the tone hole to where you're blowing, or to the end of the flute. That's what makes the difference in terms of, like, what pitch you're hitting. So there's that. And then the B-foot joint, you're literally just making the flute longer so you can play an extra note. There's nothing, like, of those three things, there is actually technically nothing more advanced about one versus the other. I don't know why it was perpetuated that it was better. Thank you for listening to my rant, guys. My very subdued rant. Welcome back, Michael. You know, based on this conversation, Ryan, open hole is not easier than closed hole. Work is stressful, but otherwise all good. Okay, great. Unsphered. Good. Jackie, you recently got a vintage Haynes and you've been loving it. Oh my gosh, it must sound so sweet. Does it have a crystally sweet, delicate sound, right? Vintage flutes have it down pat. They have that sound down pat. It's fantastic. Yeah. Exactly, Cam. You don't hear a difference with the closed hole and open hole. Exactly. Like most people, you can't hear a difference. Yeah. So Poland, as a Cuban and jazz flutist, can say that you guys don't care as much about open hole. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah. My hope is that in the future, there's more of a demand for closed hole high-end flutes. There used to be, and then they kind of faded out with the trends. So I'm hoping that is revived sometime in the future, at least within my lifetime. I would love to see that, because I would love to see that as just one of the specs that you can get. It's just that it's not really a high in demand right now, especially because people can just get pretty looking plugs to put into open hole keys. So, you know, there's not much of a demand for it, right? It only really makes sense economically to offer a lot of closed hole flutes only if there is enough of a demand, that because why else would it be sitting in inventory? Okay, so you guys have to think of it from the seller's point of view as well. But I'm really hoping that there's more of a demand for it and that it comes back amongst high-end flutes. I think that would be really fantastic. It would just give a lot more, I think it would create even more of a feeling of acceptance of, like, everyone just needs different specs, you know? Yeah. Oh no, you're struggling with the low C. Oh, and sphered. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Ooh, Jackie, you have a 1970, so the 1974 vintage Haynes with a C sharp trill. That's awesome. That's very future proofed. I'm very impressed. Oh, yeah. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I think the hate for closed holes is I think what I'm uncomfortable with that hate and that general disdain for closed hole flutes is that it really um, can shame people who have closed hole flutes. It can bring very unnecessary shame because it doesn't actually make that much of a difference, if at all. Okay. So I'm just kind of like, like I think we have to be very conscious about the words that we use and how other people can take it based on different contexts, right? So like, if you only have access to closed hole flutes, right, then you're going to feel that you're locked out of playing beautiful flute music. But like, no, you can play beautiful flute music on the flute that you have right now. It doesn't matter if it's closed hole or open hole, you know? So yeah. No hate to Lizzo. No hate to Lizzo. Like I'm sure Lizzo was more just kind of like, making a joke, Like I think it's a joke, but I think that it is definitely wise to keep in mind the power of your words and the types of people it can reach, you know, yeah, exactly. We all still love Lizzo. So like I'm sure it was just a joke, but like cuz it's funny. Like okay, like it is funny, right? Um but oh, was she? I'm so sorry. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't ask me for like, the ins and outs of what's happening in the like media. I'm very out of it. I'm very out of it. The only thing that I'm in is like some of my favorite voice actors for video games, which is extremely niche. Okay, that's the only thing that I'm like kind of a little bit more on the in about. Um, so oh, that's really unfortunate if that is the case. But I will say I'm just going to refrain from saying anything more about that. But yeah, um, that's really unfortunate if that's the case. It's unfortunate for a lot of people, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I just want to reiterate the power of your words to just make sure that you are always thinking about how it can be interpreted. I know that like if you're not used to thinking this way, it can be very annoying because it kind of makes you feel like you can't say anything or you can't crack any jokes. But that's not the case. You can absolutely still be funny, but also be very kind, and very understanding. So, I think it's worth it. It's worth it. Like, sure, it might be annoying that you feel like, oh, like, can I say this and can I say that? But the thing is, I think my challenge would be if you're annoyed that you can't say some things because someone might interpret it poorly, is that not a reflection about how you think? You might need to start to correct a little bit of how you think too, if you find yourself constantly stopping yourself, So I had to do that to myself. I had to do that for myself too. So like I'm not being all high and mighty here. This is something that I had to do for myself. So there was a period of time where I felt like I couldn't say things that I couldn't crack the jokes that I wanted to and stuff like that. But the thing is, I was like, no, Joe, You need to change how you think. So, all right? Yes, exactly. Hey, your harmonics are coming along, Charlie. That's great. So, hey, you got your low C. Look at us all being successful here. Look at us. I love it. Okay, I've talked long enough. I need to go grab a lunch. I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. To take care of yourselves to the best of your ability. I know that life happens and not everything is within your control, but do what you can for good self-care. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific. All right? There's no music without the musician, so take care of yourselves. All right? I will see you guys tomorrow. Later. Bye-bye.